Tonight, I'm going to be taking things that I found in my garden, things I've harvested in the last few days in my garden, and trying to learn how to cook those items. So for tonight, I have some long beans. These are Chinese long beans or yard long beans. You can see they're, they kind of hang. I have them up on a trellis because they hang down so far. So I've never cooked these. I was part of a community garden at work last year. And somebody had these in their plot in the garden. So I harvested some of those, I saved the seeds, and then I planted some this year in my garden, and I've already got a harvest from them. So this is amazing. I'm really enjoying this. Let's see, I've got some tomatoes from my garden as well, and just kind of looked up what I can make with the items that I have, and this is what I'm going to make tonight. This is a Chinese long bean and tomato egg stir fry. So we have our long beans. So we're going to start by cutting these into 2-inch pieces. So we've got several of these here. Let me grab a little bowl real quick. There we go. Okay, so let's start cutting our beans here. I just want to cut the ends off of these, and then we're going to cut these into a couple of inch pieces. So we'll just do that for each of these beans. All right, so if you're just joining in, I'm making a Chinese long bean, tomato, and egg stir fry. I have all these long beans that I grew in my garden this year. I was part of a community garden last year, and they had some of these, and I thought it was a really cool thing I hadn't seen before. So I got a few at the end of the season, saved the seeds from those, and now I'm going to try to cook the ones that I grew in my garden from those seeds. So just cutting the ends off and then cutting these into about 2-inch pieces. And then we're going to combine that with the egg and some tomatoes from my garden. So doing as much as I can from the garden. So the point of this is I'm trying to learn skills to become a farmer in the next 3 years. So as part of that, I have backyard garden. I'm growing as much as I can. And then I'm trying to learn how to cook the things that I'm growing. So here we go. And it's going to do a couple of these at a time. That's just a cool green bean, or it's a Chinese long bean or yard long bean. So yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually eaten these. This was, like I said, somebody at the office community garden was growing these. I thought it was a really cool thing, and it was the end of season, and they had some that were left on the vine. And so I thought, hey, I'll collect some of those. I'll gather the seeds and try growing some myself in my garden. And they're thriving. I have them up on a trellis at the end of my garden. And yeah, they're taking off. It's really fun watching them hang down like that. Because, yeah, I mean, they're so long. I don't think I've ever had these. I'm used to, like, Western kind of bean that's, a few inches long. This is very different. Yep. All right, so just chopping these into about 2 to 3 inch long pieces. Hey, pup. You watching too? Yeah, I don't know if you want any of this. All right. So if anybody's watching, just joining in, making a Chinese long bean, tomato, and egg stir fry. So right now I'm just chopping up the long beans, getting those ready. All right. And I've got 4 more of those. So yeah, this is really cool beans. I'm really enjoying these. It's just something completely different. I've never had this. So yeah, it's really cool. No idea if this is going to be good, but from the research that I did today, trying to figure out something to make with them, this recipe sounded delicious. I watched a video of something similar. It was kind of like the tomato and egg kind of thing. They were cooking in a wok. I don't have a wok yet. So we're going to be cooking in a pan here, which I can go ahead and turn that on. We can go ahead and have that heating up. All right, so we're just cutting these long beans into about 2 to 3 inch long pieces. And then we're going to cook our eggs. And then we'll prepare a little bit of green onions and tomatoes from the garden. And then we will combine everything together as we go. Let's see. I have no idea how these taste. I've never tried a Chinese long bean. I don't know if you've tried those before. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. There we go. So this is our Chinese long beans all cut up, ready to go to the next step. All right, so now we need to prepare, let's see, I think I'm going to do like 3 tomatoes from my garden. Just going to kind of slice those. Get rid of the end part there. And we're just get those into slices. We'll have those ready for the next step. All right. All right, great. I have somebody in chat. Hi, how are you doing? Where are you from? I always like knowing where people are from when I'm doing these. I'm just kind of sharing my learning how to cook the things in my garden. Planning on being a farmer in the next 3 years. So learning how to grow as much as I can. And then since I'm getting all these great harvests from my garden, I'm trying to learn how to cook them. So yeah, the long beans was kind of an interesting addition to the garden this year. So yeah, just having fun with this one, trying to figure out how to cook it, what's a good recipe for it. This stir fry looked pretty tasty, so you know, I figure worst is I try to cook it on here and end up with a great meal at the end of the evening. So we're getting all of our tomatoes sliced up here. Yeah, one more. All right. Yeah, if you're just joining in, I'm making a Chinese long bean and tomato and egg stir fry. So, grew these in my garden, just trying to learn how to cook them. And yeah, I'm just kind of repeating myself because it seems like people are popping in and out of the stream this time. All right, so we got those ready. And then the last ingredient is some green onions. So we're just gonna trim the ends off there, and we just want the white. So I'm gonna separate out the green parts here. All right. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna start with the eggs. Trying to follow the directions I have here. All right, so starting with the eggs, I'm going to put 4 eggs into a bowl here, and we're going to whisk that up, get that ready to go into the pan. There we go. All right. I'll add a little salt and pepper in there. And then I got a fork here. I'm going to whisk that up. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move the camera a little bit closer to the... Oh, let me adjust that. There we go. There we go. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, not sure what's going on with the YouTube tonight, but it seems like it's got Gemini incorporated into it. I'm doing this from my phone, and it seems like it keeps trying to help me out. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, so eggs are looking pretty good. We're not going to completely cook these because there's another step with these in just a little bit. But yeah, it's looking good. Okay. Go ahead and get our eggs out of there. All right, the last part, I think it'll be easier to go from pan to plate instead of the other way. There we go. Okay, so we have our eggs ready for the next step. Yeah, I'm not a professional cook. This is just me trying to learn how to cook the things that I'm growing in my garden. So I appreciate everybody who's joined in to watch. This is just a fun chance for me to try to make something with the food that I'm growing in my garden. Okay, so we have the eggs ready. Now the next step is, let's see, we need to toss in the long beans. We'll stir fry those for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then we'll remove those, and then we'll create the sauce with the tomatoes and the green onions that we prepared. Okay, so time for our beans. Let's add a little bit more oil in there. Okay. All right, and let's go ahead and get our beans ready. So we'll just kind of keep those moving in there. You get to listen to the sizzle for a few minutes. All right. Yeah, welcome everybody who's joined in. Appreciate sharing this with you, and just learning to do this on my own. So it's nice to be able to do this and have other people join in, enjoy the experience. All right, give that a couple more minutes. Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't expect the beans to be so dark in there. All right, there we go. Give those a little bit longer. All right, so we're supposed to do this until the beans are wrinkled and slightly charred. And the dry heat blistering is crucial so they don't taste watery. So. All right, so we're cooking our long beans now. We'll give those a little bit longer. Want to see those start to get a little char to them, and they should get a little wrinkly, is the way it describes it. Yeah, they're definitely starting to get greener. Wasn't sure about that because we're used to like a Western kind of green bean. And these are a little bit paler, but as you cook them, they do tend to get a little bit greener here. It's looking really good. Smells good. Yeah. All right. So we'll give that another minute or so. Okay, then our next step will be to prepare the tomatoes. And see, we'll add a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of sugar. Let me get that ready. All right, we got our sugar, got the soy sauce, and we got our spoon. All set. Yeah, I'm enjoying that sizzle. That sounds amazing. I'm hoping it tastes as good as it sounds. Okay. That's looking really good. All right, give that just a little bit longer. Let's see, check my instructions here, make sure I know what I'm doing. It's the first time I'm making this. So you're experiencing this along with me learning how to do it. Yeah, hello there. Yeah, I appreciate everybody joining in the chat. It's nice to know. Let me know if there's any issues. It seemed like YouTube was doing something weird with the live stream earlier, so let me know if there's any issues with the sound or anything. Yeah, hopefully you're hearing this. That sizzle is amazing. All right. Actually, I was thinking I removed these things as I go, but I think I'm just adding more in. Need to grab. Yeah, we can just start adding things in now. I'm going to add a little bit of minced garlic. And that should really smell good once that garlic starts going. Let's see, we're going to add in our green onions that we chopped up just a few minutes ago. So we got the garlic and the onions in there. So yeah, definitely make enough of this for two so that, you know, got that garlic and onion in there. There we go. It's looking good. Smells really good. Okay, we'll give that a little bit. Just let the garlic and onion have a chance to heat up before we add everything else in. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? All right, so I add in the garden tomatoes, fresh from my garden right before I started this live stream. Went out there and grabbed the long beans and the tomatoes right before I got started. Yeah, I think I'm good. All right, so we'll give that one more stir, and then we'll add in our tomatoes. That smells so good. Yeah, I can see where it was talking about they get a slight char to them, and they have a little wrinkle effect to them. All right, yeah. Internet wasn't wrong. All right, so let's add in our tomatoes now. Oh, that looks great. Love the way the red and the green kind of contrast there. Yeah, I'm red-green colorblind, and I can tell this looks amazing. All right, it's looking good. All right, so we'll leave that in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to add in some sugar, and that'll help with the tomatoes. And we're going to add in about a teaspoon or tablespoonful of soy sauce. There we go. Okay, let's give that another stir, get everything mixed together. Oh wow, now that I've added in the soy sauce, oh, that smells amazing. Oh, it's going to be delicious. All right. So we need to cook that for a couple more minutes. Let the tomato pieces get completely cooked there. Yeah, looking good. I'll give that some more mixing up. Yeah, those long beans look really cool. That's very different than the green beans I'm used to. All right, yeah, that's looking good. Okay, and then last step, we add the eggs back in and we combine everything together. Oh, that looks delicious. This is going to be a good supper tonight. Yeah, this said it makes about 2 to 3 servings. Yeah. This is about 12 strings of the Chinese long beans, about 3 garden tomatoes. See, I had like 3, 4 green onions there, and a little bit of minced garlic, soy sauce, a little bit of sugar to help with the tomatoes. I think we're done. Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm loving the different colors in that. Wow. All right, so there we go. That is our Chinese long bean, tomato, and egg stir fry. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off there. Grab a fork and give that a try. All right, so yeah, let's see how this tastes. Yeah, it's delicious. Wow. And get some of those beans. Oh yeah. It's much juicier than I thought it would be. Yeah, because looking at the long beans hanging on the trellis, they just hang so long, they look a little dry. But yeah, cooked up like this, that just soaks in all the flavors. That is delicious. Very hot, but very delicious. All right, well, that's all I had for tonight. I was just sharing my experience. I grew some Chinese long beans in my garden this year. I got the seeds from the community garden at work last year, and was growing some in my garden this year. And we have this wonderful meal. So yeah, this tastes amazing. This recording will be going out on my channel on Wednesday. So if you want to come back and get all the details, I'll include all the ingredients and the recipe in the description. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate just being able to share this learning experience for me, learning how to cook the things that I'm growing in my garden as I, go through that evergreen growth journey to learn how to be a farmer in less than 3 years. So yeah, it's delicious. Oh yeah. It's going to be a fantastic supper tonight. Wish I could share it with you online. Wow, yeah, that is so good. All right. Well, I'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be doing these every other week on Sundays. So, subscribe, turn on the notification, come back for more. Going to have a lot of fun just learning how to cook all the things I'm growing in my garden this year. All right. Well, I will see you next time.